another beautiful day when we unveil the activities of Nafdac. And for those of you that do not know what Nafdac is all about, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Nafdac, is an organization that controls food and drug administration in Nigeria. And that is why this program, Nafdac Today, is designed to bring every activities of Nafdac and also to enlighten you on your safety in terms of purchasing foods and drug. I am your regular host, Queen Obaseki. This week we're going to talk about export and import of goods in Nigeria. And my guest today is Mr. Momodu Segiru Momodu. He is a seasoned pharmacist and the director of Port Inspection Directorate, Nafdac. Enjoy watching. This week we have with us the director of PID, Mr. Momodu. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Sir, what is the position of Nafdac with regards to the need for locally manufactured drugs to be exported from Nigeria?
Thank you very much. This has been an issue that is on the top agenda of Nafdac. Before now, I had some issues with locally manufactured products, and the current management of Nafdac has taken the bulls by the horns. They are encouraging local manufacturers to make the best products that would meet international standards and meet global best practices. In this regard, WHO has come to assist us, and very recently a two-man WHO team was in Nigeria, and they selected 3 big companies to look at and see how best they are doing to meet international standards. Also, many Nigerian companies have expanded their facilities, and they have put in place all good measures to ensure that they manufacture goods that will compete in the international market. And with the support of the WHO, when they get accredited, they will be able to export to other countries. This is a good initiative because there's a big market within the African sub-region, of the West African sub-region, and even the African continent for our products to sell. But because they don't meet international standards, we don't get buyers coming here. So patronage can also come from places like the Global Fund and other international agencies. So we encourage manufacturers to do their best to ensure that all their manufacturing facilities are up to date and up to standard. And we hope that with this new initiative, the expansion of local manufacturing industry will take care of the drug needs of firstly the West African sub-region and at large the African continent. So it's a positive addenda on the Nafdac remit that we encourage local producers to produce drugs of the right quality that we sell into the international market.
Are there any special regulations with regards to food and fishery products?
Food products, we are very, very careful. We ensure that all foods that are manufactured are wholesome and meet all the dietary requirements that they purport to have. On the fishery products, we are very particularly on both fish import and exports. And in recent times, we've noticed that there has been a dearth of documentation, poor documentation, particularly on phytosanitary certificates and also the country of origin of these fish products. We've taken very, very great measures to ensure that proper documentation on how and where the fish come from is very well taken care of, and also that the cold storage facilities of these companies are of the right quality and meet all necessary standards. We're working very closely with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries Department to ensure that all people bringing fish, either in vessels or in container vessels, meet all the required standards and they have licenses. And we're also pursuing our documentation very religiously and rigorously, ensuring that all relevant documentation from country of origin, we have them. Certificates of free sale, phytosanitary certificates, we all ensure that they have them so that they don't just bring fish from anywhere. We are particularly pleased that Nigerian products are beginning to gain grounds in the international markets. There are some locally processed foods that are being sold in Europe and America, and we are encouraging more exporters to make sure that they come to Nafdac and ensure that their products are properly in manufacturing facilities are properly inspected. The products analyzed and certified to be of good quality before they export. This we do free of charge for any intended exporter, and we encourage them to come so that their products don't get rejected, and when they get overseas, they have higher premiums for their products.
Okay, how compliant are Nigerians to those regulations?
Well, many people who have come to us have been told what to do, and many of them are compliant. It is better for us to have 1, 2, 3 people compliant rather than having very many compliant or not compliant and the products get rejected. When products are rejected in the international market, even if it's one country, the message goes around too many countries, and at the end of the day, you lose premium on your products. So those people who are exporting processed food, semi-processed agricultural raw materials, we advise them to come to us. We do the proper inspection of their premises, we do the necessary analysis, give them proper documentation that they get the best premiums for their products.
Now, what is your advice to prospective exporters of regulated products?
Yes, we are encouraging those who are making drugs to make them to be of the highest quality, maintaining global best practices and manufacturing to international standards. For those who are exporting food, we want them to come. We assess them for all possible contaminants, which will make sure that the buyers overseas don't negotiate and say your products are not of the right quality and reduce the premium. We also encourage them to ensure that their manufacturing facilities are in accordance with current good manufacturing practices, and also that the quality specifications specified for products, both locally and internationally, are met as far as stipulated requirements are concerned. And in addition, seek Nafdac's advice in terms of inspection of the facilities, quality certification, testing, and all necessary documentation. We have had a good measure of compliance, and we are encouraging all those who want to export to come to Nafdac. The process is free, both for inspection, analysis, documentation, and immediately you file your application, 24 hours of filing the application, provided your facility has current good manufacturing practices, you get your endorsement.
Thank you for giving us this privilege.
Yeah.
We hope to have you some other time on Nafdac Today. Well, viewers, we'll take a short break now. We'll be right back. The program is still Nafdac Today. For those of you that are just joining us, we'll be talking about exports and imports of goods in Nigeria, and my guest has been Mr. Momodu Segiru Momodu, the Director of Port Inspection Directorate in Nafdac. Enjoy watching as the program continues. We have with us Assistant Director of Exports, Port Inspection Directorate, Mrs. Sylvia Ajokun. Ma, you're welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
What is Nafdac guidelines for the export of regulated products?
In Nafdac, in PI, Port Inspection Directorate is a directorate in Nafdac, and the function of the Port Inspection Directorate is to regulate and control the importation and exportation of regulated products. Regulated products like food, drug, cosmetics, water, medical devices. And in export, we issue about 5 certificates for exporters. And in exports, the DG is very passionate about exports. So in export, every services we render is free. Like I said, we issue 5 types of certificates in export. So when an exporter wants to export a product, they are meant to come to us, because any export done without Nafdac export certificate, it's unacceptable. And if an exporter wants to export a product, you have to apply to the Director General Nafdac Abuja. Then you copy our Director PID Nafdac Yaba. If they are in zones or states, they apply to the zonal heads. The 5 export certificates we issue are: number 1, certificate of manufacture and free sale. This type of export certificate is issued to our regulated products. And what does this certificate of manufacture and free sale say? It says this product is manufactured in Nigeria and is freely sold in Nigeria. The other certificate we issue is the health certificate. Health certificate is issued to processed and semi-processed agricultural food commodities. In this, the product has not been inspected by inspectors, it has not been analyzed. So what we normally do in this, when an exporter applies for health certificates, we now write to our Establishment Inspection Directorate, EID. They will now go to the warehouse or factory of the exporter. They will look at what they have on ground, check the GMP, check where the factory is located, and check the standard put in place, the GMP, the good agricultural practice. If they are satisfied, they will now pick the samples to send to our Nafdac lab. When the lab analysis is satisfactory, within 24 hours, we now issue the health certificate to the exporter. The third one we issue again is the export approval. Export approval is issued to products that are maybe personal use. If you are traveling and you need to take small of the food commodities abroad for your personal use, we can give you an export approval. We also give export approval to materials for research, for cigarettes, for companies when they want to buy a machine in China or India and they need to try the machine. We give them export approval to take some of their products to maybe China and India to test the machine to see if actually it's what they need. Another one again we issue is the free sale certificate. Free sale certificate shows that this product is not manufactured in Nigeria but it's fully sold in Nigeria, so we issue that. And the final one we issue is export certificate for goods transported through land borders. There is this ECOWAS market that we have somewhere in Lagos. It's an organized market. In the market, you have distributors of companies there. Then down the line, you also have parks where you have vehicles going to Ghana, Togo. So when somebody in Ghana or Togo wants a product, they can order through the export merchants. From there, if they want 2 cartons of these, 3 cartons of these, they go to all the distributors that are registered with Nafdac, pick the products, and now send the products to them through the garage, the cars in the garage there. It's a very organized pack. And it's also good because we actually want to take control and know the data of exports that are done in Nigeria. So that's some of the guidelines. And when you are applying, you have to also tell us the exporter's name and the address of the warehouse, if it's a food commodity, or the factory. You also tell us the products we want to export. We want to know the name of the products, the batch number, the manufacturing date, the expiry date, the quantity of the product you want to export abroad. And also like to know the consignee. Who are you sending the products to in the country of export? We want to know the name of the consignee and the address. So all these things we know, and like I told you, our advice, our guideline, our lab analysis, everything we do, we give you free. This is at no cost to the exporter. So we have all the guidelines for all that, and we have made this guideline in such a booklet that it will be easy for anybody to access. It's in our website, Nafdac website, www.nafdac.gov.ng. You can pick the booklet, you can pick our booklet on export guideline, you can pick it there. You can also come to our head office in Yaba, medical compound, and pick it. It is free. Everything, like I said, in Nafdac, the DG is so passionate about it. It has made everything in Nafdac and export free. We are now inviting intended exporters to come and partner with us. We want to encourage you. We want to advise you. We want you to get it right, so that at least we encourage exports in Nigeria, because we can't keep on exporting oil. We want to now look at non-oil exports so that we can give employment to our youths, so that we see all this kidnapping, all these armed robbery cases. When the youths are engaged, they will not think of going to kidnap somebody for ransom or going to rob somebody and all that. So that's our own way of giving to Nigerians what we have, our services free.
What are the challenges in export and import, most especially at the seaport and the airport?
The challenges we have in export is that exporters most times don't come to us. They export product without coming to us, and when they don't come to us, it has not been tested, because if they send it abroad, they have to test it. they have to protect their people. So that's why we always tell them to come. So when they export these things abroad, from the airport or seaport, they test the products, and most of them at times they have aflatoxins and to be rejected. And you know, the world is a global village now. Once there's a problem, there's an alert. So the whole world will know. And when they tell the whole world, they wouldn't tell the whole world that it's Mr. A that imported this. They will say a product from Nigeria. Thereby spoiling the name of the country. So that challenges are there. And like this this year, we've had about 2 alert notifications, and all of them from a Egusi powder and a Egusi seed, and they didn't come to us. So that's how the challenge. Most of the challenges we have in exports. We keep on telling them, don't export without going. Because before they wanted to blacklist Nigerian products, but when the then minister and the then minister then saw that Nafdac is doing a good work, they have said in 2003 that we should now take charge of these processed and semi-processed food commodities. So they have to come to us. They should come to us. We have said free. Everything is free. So let them not go and spoil the name of our country, because they have genuine exporters that are always exporting, and they always come to us and they get it right, and their products are never rejected from the foreign countries. The challenges we have in imports is some of our importers